The police have marked out several pieces of evidence that are likely related to the attack. However, Mrs. Doe handed me a brooch that was found at the scene. Mr. Morgan later confirmed it belonged to Charlotte May. Could the brooch be a missing piece of the puzzle? I wonder if finding where the brooch was dropped could help build a better picture of the attacker's movements. I wonder if finding where the brooch was dropped could help build a better picture of the attacker's movements. So, if Mrs. Doe was right about where she found the brooch, it means the kidnapper must have come past her manor house at some point during the abduction. I forgot to give Catherine the brooch. There just hasn't been a good time. It sounds like I have mail. Now what's this? Mr. Morgan's note implicates most of his neighbours. I had suspected as much, but now I have something solid to work with. Catherine has asked me not to get involved, but I've already promised Mr. Morgan I'll find Charlotte May. I should have told Catherine there and then. I'm already involved. I can feel it again. That drive, that first pull at the yarn. It's all on this evidence board. Suspects, victims, items found at the scene. I have everything. All that remains is to watch over my neighbours until one of them makes a mistake, and I can still give Catherine her space. If the whole town is searching the Pinewoods, someone needs to keep an eye over Dahlia View. I've been sitting watching my neighbours on and off for hours, but I've seen nothing of any use for my evidence board. Tony Morgan suggested that the McKees were acting strangely around Charlotte May. I heard Theodore return home earlier this evening, but didn't manage to get a glimpse. Charlotte May is counting on me to find her, but so far I've drawn a blank. Perhaps the McKees are innocent. Only time will tell. Annabelle and Theodore seemed normal enough when we spoke last night. By their account, they didn't seem much at all. Why would Mr. Morgan ask me to watch them? Mr. Morgan is writing missing posters by hand. He's been there all evening. People are leaving flowers on Mr. Morgan's doorstep as if Charlotte May's already dead. He's evicting one of my neighbours. It's not related to the McKees. I still have no idea what the problem is. Perhaps this is what Mr. Morgan was talking about. And now, Annabelle has seen something just out of my view. Whatever it is, she's horrified by it. What on earth is it? What are you thinking, Annabelle? What can you see? She's got a knife. Jesus, she's going to... No. She wants Theo to use it. He doesn't know which one to use. Theo, don't do it. Whatever it is, take pause of yourself. Theo, who are you talking to? Is that a practice swing? Dear God. What have I just witnessed? Some time has passed since I saw Theo hit something with a mallet. I didn't actually see anything. No proof. I have no evidence at all. Annabelle is back at the door.
Okay, hurry. Go. Go!
What in God's name?
What are you doing?
Well, if you would help me.
I'm not touching that thing.
That thing was your idea.
My idea.
Oh, no.
Get it out of here.
What the hell do you think I'm doing?
Hurry up! Mr. Morgan.
Hello, Annabelle.
Lovely evening.
Yes, I suppose so. Please, if you don't mind, I have something...
It's just all so sad, isn't it?
Please, I really do need to be going.
I'm so sorry, of course.
It's fine, Annabelle.
If there's anything I can do, you won't hesitate to ask?
Damn it, what should I do? Catherine asked me not to get involved. But this... It's not over until it's over. I think I need to pay the McKees a personal call. I've barely slept at all. I can't fully explain what I observed last night, and I can't shake the image of Charlotte May in the McKees' pantry, lying there, helpless. All set up and ready to go. Now, to gather some evidence from the McKees. I'll need my bag if I'm going to gather any real evidence. I saw my dictaphone and bag in a box in my office. They might come in handy. Now, to find out what the McKees were doing in that pantry. If they did kill Charlotte May in their pantry last night, then surely they would have left some evidence behind. I need to get inside. If the McKees are still home, then I might have to talk my way in. I'd better not mention what I saw last night. It would only close down the conversation. If the McKees really did kill Charlotte May last night, then there must be some evidence left in their pantry. I wonder if there's anything left to find at all. What if I'm too late? Bleach. The McKees have been busy.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. McKee. We spoke a few days ago.
Yes, please call me Annabelle.
Annabelle, of course. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get around to you.
That's fine. I'm sorry, how is it I can help, Mr. Conway?
Well, it's all a bit sensitive, I'm afraid. I wondered if I might have a word in private, if you would.
Well,
Mrs. McKee, Annabelle, I'd rather not state my purpose out here in the hallway where any one of your neighbours might be listening. Wouldn't you agree?
Of course. Why don't you step inside for a moment?
Excellent idea. I promise not to take up too much of your time. I'm sure you have your hands full.
So, what's the purpose of all this, Mr. Conway? I hope it's not about what we... Well, why don't you get to it?
Of course. Well, it's actually quite simple. I'm sure you've heard that I was once a private investigator. Well, nonetheless, Mr. Morgan has asked me if I would look into everyone who knew Charlotte May.
I see. And so you've come to look at us.
Look, let me be straight. I've been an investigator my entire life, and I have a sense about people, you might say.
Is that so?
I don't think you or your husband have anything to hide. In fact, this might be a waste of time altogether, but I think it would put Mr. Morgan's mind at ease if I ask some basic questions anyway. What do you say?
Well, however we can help. As long as it's not too long is all.
Oh, no, of course not. All I need you to do is tell me, in your own words, what you did on the night that Charlotte May was taken.
Right. But I thought you...
Before you begin, I'm sorry to ask, but would you mind if I used your lavatory?
No, not at all. It's right behind you.
Thank you. And please, Annabelle, you look worried. I'm sure you had nothing to do with it. She's lying. It's written all over her. Time to find out why. It's a doctor's note addressed to Annabelle. Now what do we have here?
Mr. Conway? Can I offer you a cup of tea?
Yes, 2 sugars. I thought she'd never leave. A tram ticket. Annabelle clearly didn't use this tram ticket. I apologize. Where were we? Ah, yes. You were going to tell me what you were doing on the night that Charlotte May was taken.
I've been thinking about it, and there's not much to say.
Literally anything would help.
Well, I remember it clearly. I think everyone here knows exactly where they were. It was so shocking. I'd made Theo his tea in the afternoon at about 3, and wrapped it up for him to have later. He was working all day over at Levy's garage, and performing later that night. I went to the shops at some point, I think. I didn't see Charlotte May at all that day, and I was out of town for most of the night. I think the last time I saw her was on the Wednesday. She was playing outside between her homeschooling, as I recall.
I'll stop you there if you don't mind. It's an interesting point you make about not seeing her that day. However, I think it would be more beneficial to talk about what you and your husband are doing whilst Charlotte May was being taken.
Right. I see. What time was that?
You don't remember clearly. I was sitting in my flat at the time. 10 o'clock is when I first noticed something was happening. I had a good view from my window. I imagine you'd have a good view from your kitchen window also. Perhaps even your pantry.
Actually, Mr. Conway, I'm sorry. I feel awfully uncomfortable talking about this, without Theo here. I think it's best I don't answer anything he might object to.
You're right. I completely agree. He usually takes his break around now, does he not?
Perhaps.
Would it be possible for you to go and get him so that we might continue the conversation?
I don't think that's a good idea, Mr. Conway. In fact, I think I'd feel better if we ended the conversation here, if it's all the same to you.
No, you're right. If you don't feel it appropriate, then best not to bother him.
Thank you.
Well, I was hoping to clear it all up today, you see. I'd hate to have to bother you tomorrow or the day after, or even the day after that. It's not in my character to be a nuisance. However, I did promise Mr. Morgan. Perhaps I'll return later on.
Wait. If it's not going to take too long, I could fetch him now, and we could resolve the matter.
Mrs. McKee, if you would do that for me, it would put Mr. Morgan's mind at ease, I'm sure of it.
Christ. Okay, well, I think it's best you come with me.
I fear I'd only slow you down. The stairs, you see. No, I'll wait here for your return.
Fine, just wait here.
Now, to get that key down. It's moving. Well, that was easier than I thought. Oh, it's locked. Charlotte, were you in here? Give me something. Looks as though they scrubbed the place clean last night. If they did kill Charlotte May in their pantry last night, then surely they would have left some evidence behind. I need to get inside. Nothing useful. It's well stocked. Please let me be wrong. Bleached head to toe. I'm too late. There's nothing left to see. They're not back yet. Then there's still time to search the flat. She never did make me that cup of tea. A rug has been steam cleaned. The same one they carried out last night. The dates don't match up. Shirley and Annabelle are very close. They meet every week. I have no idea what that is. Shirley and Annabelle are very close. They meet every week. Theo is a performer. Lovely. There's a note in the fireplace on the other side. The note in the fire might be nothing, but I can't tell unless I can get it out and read it. There's a note in the fireplace. I can't get it out with my bare hands. Seems to be a list of medicines. Nothing interesting. I can't stand to see an incomplete picture. I wonder what was last written on this notepad. I'm not getting in there without a key. Theo's room, no doubt.
No, my baby don't care for me, just because she says she do. If my baby really cared for me, she wouldn't leave me feeling blue.
Theo, where's the pencils gone?
Annabelle, you can't hear I'm recording.
Sorry, I don't know the difference, you know that.
Well, check next time. These vinyls are too expensive to waste.
Theo, all I want is a pencil.
Try the living room.
Well, why would you even leave it in there?
Oh, God, Lord. We'll have to start this whole thing over again.
He's a slob. Music sheets. Presumably Theo's songs. Something's blocking these keys from the other side. Locked. How does one open a piano front? Now, what do you know? I don't know a great deal about musical instruments, but this doesn't look expensive.
No, my baby don't care for me just because she says she do. If my baby really cared for me, she wouldn't leave me feeling blue.
Theo, where's the pencil gone?
Annabelle, you can't hear I'm recording.
Sorry, I don't know the difference. You know that.
Well, check next time. These vinyls are too expensive to waste.
Theo, all I want is a pencil.
Try the living room.
Well, why would you even leave it in there?
Oh, God, Lord. I'll have to start this whole thing over again.
£45. If I were a lesser man, I'd take it and live comfortably for the rest of the year. There's no way Theo's boss pays him this much. The police are still here. I hope Catherine doesn't see me like this. Bingo. Theo has a sister back home somewhere.
Annabelle, it's Shirley.
Damn. It's Annabelle's sister.
Look, if you're in there, I want to say sorry about the other night. Are you there? I love you, Annie. You know that, don't you? Everything I say, I say it because I want to protect you. Anyway, I'm posting the key back through the door. I love you.
The box at the foot of their bed is padlocked and needs a combination. Why would they lock away their bedding? Seems very odd. Annabelle is obsessed with cleaning. They had a view of Mr. Morgan's home. They could have easily seen Charlotte May every day. Smells fresh. The whole place is clean. More bleach. I spoke too soon. What on earth is inside? The box at the foot of their bed is padlocked and needs a combination. Why would they lock away their bedding? Seems very odd. It needs something to wind it. Is Annabelle having an affair? Clean bedding. Now what's this then? This is it. The mallet I saw Theo use last night. I've got you. Did you hit Charlotte May with this? Damn, the McKees are coming back.
Well, then, what do you want me to say?
I don't know, just stall him. He's been in there for ages.
Why did you leave him then?
You really want me to go through that right now?
Okay. Just don't say anything that he might.
He might what?
Well, you know how you are.
Do you really think I'm that stupid? Now shh. Let's just go inside.
I'm waiting for you. Hello, Mr. Conway.
Hello, Theodore.
Anne says Tony Morgan asked you to investigate his daughter's disappearance.
That's right, but I'm sure she's also told you that it's merely a form.
I was just telling Mr. Conway he's wasting his time, because we don't know anything about it.
Aren't you retired, Mr. Conway?
Well, I'm not here officially, Mr. McKee, just as a friend of Tony Morgan's. But I do appreciate you making the time.
Well, like Anne said, we had nothing to do with Charlotte May, so I don't know how I could help. And I don't have long, I'm afraid. Mr. Levy isn't very happy with me stepping out of work.
I appreciate it all the same.
Well, shall we move into the living room?
Of course. Please, after you.
I'll be with you in a moment.
Now, please, I'd like to know what you were doing at the time of the attack, if you wouldn't mind. Maybe start at 10 p.m.
10 p.m.? Well, I was at a gig that night, so I was playing down at the Sugar Ducks men's club. Harold, my boss, hasn't paid me for a few months, so I've had to start making money elsewhere. I remember I got home around 10:40, I think. I went straight into my music room. I had a song in my head I just had to get out. So nothing to do with Charlotte May.
The Sugar Dogs. That's about a 20-minute walk from here, if I'm correct.
Something like that? Yes.
And what time did you finish your performance?
About just after 10.
And then you returned home.
Yes.
Did you drive?
No, I walked.
You just said you returned home at 10:40, did you not? If it takes 20 minutes to walk, then what, might I ask, were you doing with the extra 20 minutes?
Have you ever performed, Mr. Conway?
No, I'm not a very musical person, I'm afraid.
Well, there's a lot of equipment at a show. Microphones, guitars, cables. It all takes time to pack down.
Mallets?
Excuse me?
A mallet. Whatever it is that the drummer uses.
You mean drumsticks?
Sticks. Ha. You'll forgive me. I really don't know a great deal about it.
Well, like I said, it all takes time.
Sounds reasonable enough to me. Where were we? Yes, you were saying you'd entered your music room.
Anyway, I think I was in my music room all the way up until...
I'll be with you both in a second. Don't wait for me.
Okay, my love. I was in my room until Anne called me out. She heard a smash or something. Anne was visiting a friend that night, but I think she was back just before me. And I think she was in her bedroom. So, by all accounts, she's the one who heard it.
What was the name of her friend, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't remember. She's out with them quite a lot, though.
Why doesn't she attend your performances?
I don't think jazz is her thing.
Well, that's a shame. That every time you perform, she's elsewhere.
I see. You're wondering if she could have taken Charlotte May whilst I was gigging? No way.
The thought had crossed my mind, but if you say no, then I have to take you at your word.
You don't know Anne, Mr. Conway. There's no way she would do something like taking a child.
I believe you, Mr. McKee.
Good. I know you're asking for Tony Morgan, but you're way off.
I apologize. And Annabelle seems so lovely, so I hate to have asked.
It's okay.
Sorry, where were you?
So anyway, it couldn't have been Anne or me, you see, because we weren't here most of the night. And in any case, the Sugar Ducks are a good 20-minute walk away. People would have noticed if I was missing from my gig, wouldn't you think? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Is this all you want to know? What I was doing that night? Nothing else?
You say it couldn't have been Annabelle.
No. She was out of town that night. She'd already paid for her tram ticket, so I said I didn't mind.
Really? And she used the tram ticket?
I don't understand.
You say she was out of town for most of the night. Could she have been here longer than you thought?
Anne didn't have anything to do with Charlotte May.
Well, anything is possible.
No. I'm sorry, it's not. You don't know Anne.
So she's not capable of such a thing. Is she capable of deceiving you?
That's my wife you're talking about. I'm not answering that.
You're right. I apologize. I've overstepped my bounds. I promise you I meant nothing by it. I have to ask these things for Tony Morgan, but if you say that's not her, then I trust you, Theodore.
It's fine.
Please, if you don't mind, could you continue with the night's events?
Sorry about that. I was making sure that things were, where we left them.
I was just saying that Mr. Conway is wasting his time, because we were both out of town for most of the night. Isn't that right, my love? You were at a friend's, weren't you? You already paid for a tram ticket. That's why you couldn't come to the gig.
Well, actually, Theo, I wanted to talk to you about that, but it can wait till later.
Talk to me about what? Tell him you're out of town.
Don't you have to get back to work?
Actually, I think I do have to go, Mr. Conway. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. You'll excuse me.
Thank you for your time, Theodore. You were out of town for most of the night, were you? Did the tram conductor forget to stamp your ticket? I'm curious.
Mr. Conway, I think you've more than outstayed your welcome. I don't know why I agreed to talk to you in the first place. You must think me awfully dense if you think I don't know what you were doing while I was gone. I don't want to see or hear from you again, do you understand? This is a job for the police, not some old has-been playing detective.
Playing? You think this is a game? Well, you'll forgive me if I don't see the fun side to abducting a small child and bludgeoning her to death with a mallet.
Get out, now.
I think that went as well as could have been expected.